What really inspired me to start my own business was really a call from God. It was more than anything an act of faith. Um, I was an engineer. I had been in this country for about 15 years, and I had always wanted to have a company. So it really comes back from my childhood. My father was an engineer, and I really thought my dream was really to work with him. He was an engineer and a developer in Dominican Republic, and but he suddenly died when I was 19. So it really wasn't expected for me, for my father to die so young. And when he died, I was in the middle of my career, studies, civil engineering in Dominican Republic, and it was like, now what do I do now? So I finished, I got married, and life brought me to this country for a master's degree. I thought a master in construction management was going to give me the know-how on how to do this without my father being there. So after I came here to this country, I worked for multi-million-dollar companies. I acquired experience. I was married. I was busy having kids. I actually finished my master's, started with one pregnancy and finished with another pregnancy in 2 years, but I was also working full-time. And then I did register for the license. I passed the license actually, but life took another turn in my personal life that prevented me from having a company at that moment. I actually had to wait. In the process, I went to become the director of construction for the city of Fort Lauderdale. And 3 years after is when I decide it's time, but I had this in my heart. I go and I call the licensing board, and my permit to go forward with the exam that I had taken had expired 2 days ago. So I had to take the test again. So it was funny. I would tell people I'm the only person that passes the test and takes it again. So when I said to you that I went to the city of Fort Lauderdale, I go to the city of Fort Lauderdale, and really what inspires me is an act of faith. It's ready, but it's the recession is about to hit. I was in the city, so I knew things were not good. This is 2007. So there's that deep understanding that it's really time to start. And I leave in act of faith, and 2 days later I get a contract, and it was a phone call. To me, that's one miracle that I have received right after, right? And so I started my garage because I didn't want to commit to the overhead cost. I simplified my life to the most I could because I needed to give the company the opportunity that it deserved. I couldn't work like 2 jobs. I don't think that's really possible. The biggest surprise in running my business, I really have to roll my eyes back and think, because I don't think there's one. The most recent, 3 years ago, aha moment and kind of thought or learning that it didn't even pass through my head. It was the situation with talent management. I realized, one, that I had stopped growing as a leader. This is like 10 years into the business, 9-10 years. I went to a training, Goldman Sachs training, and for the first time I kind of paused, took 1 or 2 days every week out of the business, and I was able to see my business and my life in a different light. I think I had neglected people in the sense of really intentionally focusing on the growth of people. But you can imagine, I wasn't focusing on my growth. So let alone I was thinking about really investing time and money and resources into the growth of leadership in my own company. The things that I would do different if I had to start all over again, if I had to start another company, is personal growth and the leadership, investment in people, definitely at the forefront. Providing clarity, where going, what are the goals, being able to articulate them myself, and that everyone in the company, including the person that is in the field, is able to know where the company is growing. And it is hard work to do that. It is hard work. Focusing on culture, it was a hard learning process for me. It was very painful, actually. The price of not focusing on culture was almost could have taken our company away. There's so much that you as a leader can take, so much energy. For me, it was creating a negative energy in the employee. We were not focusing on production or productivity or satisfying the client so much. It was a lot about complaining and an energy that it really didn't fulfill any need for me. To me, I've learned mindset is key. So I have been working in my mindset because I focus a lot on the spiritual growth. But there is so much you can do in your own field to impact all those around you if they are not working on it, on their own growth. So the mindset, when you don't believe that you can do something, you can do it. The biggest challenge when I was trying to make the culture shift was the old versus the new. First of all, identifying what's the new, what do I want, and second, having clarity on what do we want as a company, what message do we want to portray, and then working with those people, giving an honest chance to those that were on board at that moment to see if they were going to be part of the new company or the new vision or the new culture or not. So there's a lot of ways to measure, to me, the return already as it is. It hasn't even been, it's been like about a year. Financially speaking, definitely, I already see it in the bottom line. We're making more money. Our overhead is not only controlled, but it's reduced. We're more efficient. There's less complaining. People are happy and productive. But I'll tell you what, I'm sleepy. And that to me is very valuable. I would love to advise small businesses, if they really want to go through a culture change, first of all, to hire a coach for themselves first. Hire somebody find somebody that understands your mission, your vision, that it can accompany you in this process, because it is tough to do it yourself if you haven't done it. Because small businesses are talented. You're an entrepreneur. You took risk. You went from not having anything to probably building a really nice company. I've had two, actually, Chris and Sue Samaro, and it makes all the difference, because we don't see it. We are in the day-to-day, and we don't see the avenue that we need to take. Looking at the next stages, the future, what concerns me? I think the one thing that would concern me is to stop being grateful. Stop being grateful and going back to focusing on a spirit of lack. Not focusing on giving back. It would be concerning. Not being able to impact the world the way I want to impact the world. Not being able, dying and not being able to make the difference that I think God has put in my heart. Well, I'm very excited about everything that I've learned and transmitted to other small businesses like me. I think this country has a lot of opportunities for small business, but a lot of people fall short. The statistics say that when you start a company, you 80% don't make it. So that's one thing. The other thing is that in government contracting, which is what I do, a lot of what we do is federal government. There's this set aside work for women-owned businesses, minority business, and so on and so forth, people get to obtain these certifications, and they partner with a large company, I think, in my mind, they don't believe that they can do this. They don't believe, they don't have the proper guidance on how to navigate this monster that is the federal government. So they end up partnering with a large company, but the large company doesn't necessarily invest in their growth. So they end the journey of 10 years, 5 years, whatever it is, at the same place that they were, maybe with a few dollars in the bank. And I think what we need to do is, as small businesses, is partner and joint venture so that we can grow together and capitalize on the opportunities that are available. Lunacon has a lot of plans to give back. I think I have more plans that I can actually probably do in my life. I had this revelation that using this company to bring people that are less fortunate into the construction industry, people that are homeless or foster kids that don't have somebody guiding them and telling them, be an engineer, don't be a plumber. We've also talked to a church where we want to have, and this is in the crafting, a group of women, and we're going to start with a pilot program in the fall, a group of women that we're going to teach them how to believe in themselves. What books have I read recently? 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I'm reading one from the owner of Virgin Air. I'm reading, I read multiple at the same time. A marketing book about storytelling, because everything is in the story. Steve Jobs. I am going crazy studying and learning. This is actually my year of learning. What would be the thing that my business partners would be surprised to learn about me? Probably that my father was very poor, extremely poor. My mother too, but my father, I think, was more. He was in agriculture, his family, and father alcoholic. Both parents died very young of cancer. My father was a hard worker. My father and mother have the ethics and the principles that I'm not sure how, really what happened in their family, how they get them, but they were very strong, and so strong that they instilled that in us. And he dies, I'm the oldest one. He dies when I'm 19. So, and all of my brothers, I have 3 brothers, are very successful. Well, my mother is alive, so she's very proud. My father, I don't know. I think he's gonna be very, very proud. Yeah.